So you think you know a lot about pro wrestling?
Really?
Well, it's time
Once again
to test your IQ with this tricky little trivia game that is so creatively named Wrestling Jeopardy.
Not bad.
Welcome inside the squared circle. I'm your host, Kevin J. Callis.
Yeah.
If this is your first time playing, well, I hope you're ready to rumble.
Yeet.
Here are the not so extreme rules on your screen, which are merely a guide. I mean, I know I can't control whether or not you ask Alexa, Siri, or Jeeves for advice.
To find out your name, I had to ask Jeeves.
Should have asked Jeeves.
With that, let's check out the categories for episode 5 of Wrestling Jeopardy. Starting off, we have Cowboys, followed by Who's Your Daddy? This is going to be a visual clue category. I'm going to show you the picture of a wrestler, and you're going to have to tell me who that wrestler's daddy is.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Next up, we have American Soldier. This category will be all about wrestlers who served in the military. Our fourth category, I love this bar. This will be related to some of wrestling's greatest drinkers and drinking stories. And last but certainly not least, our fifth category, which is always our audio category, Name That Theme. Now, you may have noticed a theme with the categories, and that's because this episode is dedicated to country music legend, as well as TNA and WWE alum Toby Keith, who passed away a few weeks ago at the age of 62. R.I.P. TK. All right, let's get the show on the road and kick off the 200-point round. These clues are easy peasy, so I fully expect you to go 5 for 5 and be absolutely perfect.
I'll give you an answer.
All right, here we go. Jumping into Cowboys for 200. This two-time WWE Hall of Famer revealed in his autobiography, Hitman, My Real Life in the Cartoon World of Wrestling, that he was supposed to debut as a cowboy. And the correct answer is, who is Bret the Hitman Hart?
Who is the thirstiest, the hottest, and the hungriest man in the valley?
You if you're buying.
That's right.
Apparently, that was the idea back in the early WWF days in the 80s. They wanted him to be a cowboy. Yeah! All right, moving on now to Who's Your Daddy for 200. The answer here, of course, is Jim the Anvil Neidhart, because that is a picture of his lovely daughter, Natty Neidhart. Moving on to American Soldier for 2. Perhaps it was the voices inside this WWE superstar's head that caused him to go AWOL from the United States Marine Corps in 1998. And the correct answer is, who is Randy Orton? You know what? Military life, it wasn't his cup of tea. He wasn't cut out for it. It's all good.
Daddy's back.
All right, here we go. I love this bar for 200. This wrestler had such a giant appetite for booze that he holds the world record for the largest number of beers consumed in a single sitting. And the correct answer is, who was Andre the Giant, who once threw back 119 beers in 6 hours? That would literally kill me. And on to the final clue of the 200-point round. Name that theme. And the correct answer is Jeff Jarrett's theme, back when he used to wrestle in WCW in the late 90s, when he was the chosen one, Slapnuts.
What'd you call me?
Slapnut.
You know who you're talking to?
Yeah, you, Slapnut.
Got him!
See, I told you, easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm sure you went 5 for 5. Now we're going to ramp up the toughness here of the clues going into the 400-point round. Let's kick it off with Cowboys for 4. This cowboy was Rowdy Roddy Piper's ace of a bodyguard. And the correct answer is, who is Cowboy Bob Orton?
Yeah, I love you. He's my bodyguard.
All right, that brings us to Who's Your Daddy for 400. That, of course, is Dominic Mysterio, and we know his mommy is Rhea Ripley, but his daddy, Rey Mysterio. Here we go, American Soldier for 400. This two-time WWE champion and former leader of the Hurt Business was a sergeant in the U.S. Army. I would not want to mess around with this guy. I mean, Bobby Lashley is a beast. All right, let's move on now to I Love This Bar for 400. Sheamus and Cesaro enjoyed tremendous tag team success wrestling together in WWE under this moniker. They don't just set the bar, they are the bar. That question kind of barely sneaks in talking about wrestling drinkers because Cesaro doesn't drink, but Sheamus is Irish, so I figured, why not?
Maybe we should leave?
Moving on. Let's go. Finish up the 400-point round. Name that theme. Listen to this. You can't go wrong with a little cowboy shh. Name of the song, Ghost Town Triumph, the theme of Hangman Adam Page. All right, we have 10 clues down, 15 to go. We're moving on to the 600-point round, kicking it off here with Cowboys. This renegade cowboy called the Double Cross Ranch in Amarillo, Texas, his home. And the correct answer is none other than who was the late great Terry Funk. And we're on to Who's Your Daddy for 600. Well, that picture right there, that is Colton to the left, Austin to the right, and their daddy is none other than daddy ass Billy Gunn. And here we go to American Soldier for 600. Before she became a sassy Southern belle, this former WWE superstar was a Marine military police officer. And the correct answer is Lacey Evans.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
And that brings us to I Love This Bar for 600. The new WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut includes a bar named after one of its most popular television shows. The correct answer, the TV show, is SmackDown, and the bar is called Snackdown.
You serious?
All right, and closing out the 600-point round, name that theme for 600. Listen up to this. And the correct answer is, it's the theme song from that good old Asian redneck cowboy, Jimmy Wang Yang, and I'm gonna punch somebody tonight.
Jimmy Wang Yang!
All right, 15 clues down, 10 to go, plus Final Jeopardy. Hope you're doing good so far. Make sure you keep track of your score. Also, sometimes I need some help, so if you have any ideas for categories, just leave some in the comments below and I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
All right, let's move on. 800-point round, Cowboys. This tough-talking Texas Cowboys legacy includes being the father of Barry Windham and the grandfather of the late Bray Wyatt. And the correct answer is, who was Black Jack Mulligan?
Go get mama from the kitchen real quick.
Which brings us to Who's Your Daddy for 8. And that is a picture of Grandmaster Sexay, who was also known as Brian Christopher and whose full name was Brian Christopher Lawler. So the answer we're looking for is Jerry the King Lawler. All right, American Soldier for 800. This former U.S. Marine who did 2 tours in Afghanistan as a machine gunner now has his sights set on becoming TNA World Champion. And the correct answer is Steve Macklin. I love this bar for 800. At age 13, Reginald Lazowski, who later became known as This, was working as a bouncer, throwing drunks out of his father's saloon in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And of course, Milwaukee is also pronounced Milwaukee, which is Algonquin for the good land. But the answer we're looking for, who was the Crusher?
I've been hit with bar stools, barmaids, spittoons. I've been brought up in a saloon of Milwaukee.
All right, and closing out the round, name that theme for 800. Listen to this. And that is none other than the TNA theme song for the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. All right, we've made it to the most challenging part of this game, the 1,000-point round. The steel cage begins to lower. Time to put on your thinking caps because we're really going to test your pro wrestling knowledge here. Kicking it off with Cowboys for 1,000. This bad man from Borger, Texas, claimed he had 9 kids and a fat wife and had to beat people up to keep his family fed. And the answer, none other than Stan the Lariat Hansen.
I'm not after all the bright lights and the little women. I got a big fat wife and 9 kids at home, and I gotta feed them.
All right, we're on to the final clue from Who's Your Daddy for 1,000. Now, if you said that Von Wagner looks like the caveman that Phil Hartman used to play back in the day during Saturday Night Live,
Look at this dude.
I'd give you 1,000 points. But Von Wagner's real name is Cal Bloom, and his daddy is Wayne Bloom, one half of the Beverly Brothers.
Say what?
All right, and we're closing out American Soldier for 1,000. Vietnam vet Dirty Dutch Mantell worked the territories for many years alongside his trusty whip that was named This. And the answer we're looking for, what is Shoe Baby? Closing out I Love This Bar for 1,000. The APA filmed numerous fights at this bar in Cumberland, Rhode Island, which was owned by longtime WWE referee, the late Tim White. And the correct answer is, what is the Friendly Tap? All right, let's finish it off. Name that theme for 1,000. Listen to this. Ah yes, an oldie but a goodie, going way back to early 90s WCW and the theme song from the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys. Alrighty then, start adding up those scores and let's see how you did. What was it, good, bad, ugly? Well, like I always say,
I started out fighting in this barn when I was a little boy, and I don't care if my last fight is in this barn. Jimmy Garvin, you touched me in a personal way you never touched me before.
hopefully you did pretty well, but are you gonna risk it all in Final Jeopardy? Well, we're gonna find out right now because it's time to get ready to make those wagers. Here is this week's Final Jeopardy category. Hailing from blank. How well do you know wrestlers' hometowns or where they would say that they were billed from? Well, let's find out. Time to make those wagers. Alrighty, time is up. Let's take a look now at the final clue of episode 5. Mick Foley was raised in Long Island, New York. However, his most psychotic persona, Cactus Jack, hailed from this dangerous sounding New Mexico town. Good luck. Boom, boom. Mick Foley was raised in Long Island, New York. However, his most psychotic persona, Cactus Jack, hailed from this dangerous sounding New Mexico town? And the answer that we're looking for, the correct answer in this episode's Final Jeopardy, is Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. Now, I've never been to Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, but I hear it's lovely this time of year. And that'll do it for episode 5 of Wrestling Jeopardy. Don't forget to leave a comment with your score, and if you like what you saw, please give this video a massive thumbs up. Thank you for watching. I've been your host, Kevin J. Callis, and I'll see you next time.